Welcome back to the Hurricanes opponent preview series. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. And if you want to donate, please go to Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. I'll have those links in the description. If you like the content, you can give me a tip. That's up to you, and we'll go from there. Anyway, in part 3 of the 12-part Hurricanes opponent preview series, we will preview the 2025 South Florida Bulls, our opponent at Hard Rock Stadium on September 13th at 4:30 Eastern Time on the CW Network. Here's a look at the Bulls coming into 2025. Offense, they bring back experience with Byron Brown returning from an injury. And they get Gaston Moore coming in from Tennessee, as Bryce Archie is now in Cincinnati playing baseball with the Reds as Brown's primary backup. But they also have 2 other quarterbacks coming out of spring. I think 3. Lachlan Hewitt, redshirt freshman Marcellus Tate, and transfer from Britain in Sam Fountain. At running back, they lost their 3 top rushers, though they've brought in Cartavius Norton from Charlotte to enhance that running game. They have a deep threat, and they're going to depend on him heavily in Keyshawn Singleton and veteran Jaden Alexis, who's back from injury. And they also added from the portal Mudea Rubin from Stanford and Chance Nimrod from Tennessee. The offensive line has a lot of experience there. It's further bolstered by the addition of the portal of Thomas Schrader from App State and Connor McLaughlin from Stanford. Overall, when you look at the offense, it's known for quick pace with goalish offenses, but it has to control the clock to support the defense. And that's going to be important, especially with their first 3 games being brutally tough, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Looking down the defensive side of the ball, the D-line needs some rebuilding. But the man that's going to help out is Josh Salazar, who comes in from Texas A&M to enhance that rush. Yes, the secondary has some returning veterans and added new players in the portal, but it has to enhance the pass defense. Last year, it was very challenging. The linebackers, it's viewed as a strength, but you have key returnees like Mac Harris and Jalen Schuler expected to be strong on the tackling front. When you look at the defense overall, it was 118th last year in total defense, and it needs to make significant improvements, especially in the pass coverage. Now let's look at USF recruiting. It's considered one of the top classes outside the Power 4, including both high school recruits and transfers. They added, like I said, Lachlan Hewitt, and they added an offensive lineman in Garrett Gordon Jr., Khalil Collins, and Brooks Williams Jr. That should help that O-line out tremendously. Alex Golish starts his 3rd year in Tampa. And they added new staff members with Cody Burns as co-offensive coordinator and assistant head coach, Joel Gordon as offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, and Todd Orlando as the defensive coordinator. USF aims to go to a 3rd straight bowl game under Golish, but the objective for them is much higher, to compete for the American Championship. And that challenging non-conference schedule I talked about earlier is going to be a real test. Their enhancements on defense, especially in pass coverage, are going to be key, because ranking 118th again ain't going to cut the mustard in Tampa, especially when a new stadium's coming online 2 years from now. Looking at this game from a Canes point of view, this is the quintessential trap game, with Florida coming into Hard Rock the next week. This is a solid and dangerous USF team that will be coming into Hard Rock. We need to drop the hammer on these guys early, and we didn't do that last year in Tampa. Here in Tampa, we did that in the second half. We got to do that much sooner this time. Not give them any hope. Now let's go back to that bowl schedule. It is brutally tough on the front end. Boise, home, and then at Florida, and then them coming to Hard Rock the following week before coming back home for South Carolina State. In the American, they have Charlotte, North Texas, Florida Atlantic, and on homecoming, Memphis, San Antonio, Navy, Birmingham, and Rice. And remember, that kicks off on a Thursday afternoon at 5 o'clock against Boise. And they'll have multiple weeknight games, including this again, like I mentioned, the Boise opener, the conference opener at Charlotte, and then San Antonio. But honestly, I think having that tough schedule early is only going to strengthen that team. I got to think in the end, USF's going to go 8. I think they're going to go 8-4 in 2025. So that's what I'm going to go with. 8-4 for the Bulls in 2025. When I come back in part 4 of the series, I will preview the Florida Gators.